Okay. So we're going to start in table. Yeah. Your wrists under your shoulders. Yeah. Your knees under your hips. And we're going to do cats and dogs, right? So remember to rotate your arms so that the crease of your elbow comes toward your index finger, right? So that you have a strong stanchion, right? Your arms become your posts. All right, so on an inhale, you're going to curl your spine towards the mat. Yeah. Think about a dog wagging his tail. When you exhale, you arch your spine to the sky like a Halloween cat. Inhale your dog, feel your shoulder blades coming together. Exhale your cat, feel them spreading apart. And continue now at your pace. Going from dog on an inhale, cat on an exhale. So this releases your spine. It's also working your groins, your hips, shoulders. You do this seated in the chair. Yeah. Well, I'll do it with you in a minute. All right, and then the next time you're in your cat spine, pause and send your hips toward your heels. Come to a child's pose. All right, and then you're gonna look between your hands. Yeah. Your arms are overhead, the palms flat on the mat. You're gonna lift your hips and come forward, bringing your shoulders over your wrists and lengthening your legs behind you. You're gonna push your hands into the mat. You're gonna engage your core muscles so that we don't sag, right? You want to be nice and strong. Right? Inhale, and then exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, come forward. Turn under your toes, lift your knees away from the mat, send your hips up on a diagonal for downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Yeah. So your heels are coming towards the mat, your chest is coming towards your thighs. Yeah. And your hands are energetically pushing the mat away. You're going to come forward to plank, but just for a moment. Knees to the mat, turn over your toes, hips to heels. So you're going to continue this sequence twice more. You're going to lift your hips, come forward, long legs. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Plank. Knees down, hips to heels. Come forward to up dog, what this is called. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Yeah. Come forward to plank. Knees to the mat, turn over your toes, hips to heels. This is working every joint in your body, this sequence. This is all about flexion. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog, and stretch. Come forward and core. Knees to the mat, hips to heels. Come forward. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank, and this time your knees come to the mat and you step your wrists underneath your shoulders. But let's come up for a moment to shake out our wrists, right? Because we've been on them for a while. So go like this. So you bend them in the opposite direction, shake them out, right? And then we're going to come back to table. Right. You're going to send your right leg back behind you. You're going to make sure your hips are square. You can do that by swinging your left arm around and making sure your hips are square. Yeah. You're going to lift your right leg. And here's where it's important that you will keep your hips level. Yeah. And your left arm comes alongside your left ear or not. You can put your hand down at any time. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Good, that's called bird dog. Send your left leg back to the side. Yeah, out to behind you. Lift your leg. Swing your right arm around to make sure your hips are square or not. Yeah. And send your right arm alongside your right ear or not. It could still be on the mat. Bring your hands down, bring your knee down. Come to a child's pose. Right. And so I want to explain child's pose for everybody because I know you all have a version of child's pose and that's fine. But I want to show you the different versions. So if you look up for a moment. So there's this child's pose. You have all this space in front of you so you can come down to the mat, right? You've got all this space. And it doesn't matter how wide your legs are open. I do it this way, but just because, again, it's my body, what feels good for me, and your legs become a shelf. That's the other version of a child's pose, right? So I just want to make sure that you have that in your toolkit, yeah? We're going to do one more thing now. So you're in child's pose now. So come back up and come onto your knees. And you may want to have a blanket under your knees. All right, everybody good? Excellent. All right. You might want to have a block. Maybe. I know many of you are pros at this. So you're going to step your right foot forward. You're going to let your arms stream back behind you. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, you're going to send your hips forward. Yeah. Arms alongside your ears for Anjaneyasana, the goddess. You're going to bring your arms down and straighten your front leg. Inhale, exhale back to the goddess. Straight leg. Hips over supporting knee. Exhale. Inhale. Once more. Exhale. Inhale. Take your block, step back, bring your knee back. All right, other side. Here. Left knee goes forward, the farther away from your hip that you walk your foot, the greater the stretch on your opposite thigh, on your quads. Yeah. arms stream back. Inhale, exhale, slide. The goddess. Right, so let's make our goddess look pretty. Yeah. So bring your thumb and index fingers of your right hand, the opposite, the one, this one. And then bring your left hand to your thigh for the goddess. You can do it the other way too, if you like. And then straighten your leg. Back to goddess. Straighten. Goddess. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Step back. Bring your knee down. Come to a child's pose and just rest in this pose. All right, so I'm going to continue this class. Those of you on the mat can do this along with us. But the chair people, this is for the chair people, okay?
Chairperson. It's too hard on my
You're both.
wrist.
Do you want a chair?
I can steal that one, right?
Yeah. All right. Right, so we're going to start, now that slides on this rug, so you might want to take it back to your, just don't go in front of the camera. It's okay, you've got plenty, she got plenty of room. All right. Sit nice and tall in your chair, but not leaning back. Your shoulders over your hips. So you can come to just relax, Frank, you know, come to a seated position, or you can do this along with me. You just do it from from the mat. So you're going to now everybody stay in your chair the way it is. You're going to come to the edge of your chair. I'm going this way so that you can see what I'm doing with my body. My hands are on my knees. I'm going to inhale, slide my hands up to the tops of my thighs and send my heart forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And you'll do this as slowly and for as long as it feels good. Yeah. And then you'll come up to sit. All right. All right. So we're going to now do what you stay where you are, or you can, or you know what, turn your chair around so I can see you. All right. I'm gonna go this way. I can still see me up there. All right. So you're going to place your hands on the mat, and you're going to set your legs so that your ankles are under your hips. Yeah. Right. And so this is very similar, you know, to again what we were doing from the mat, from table. You're going to lift your right leg. You're going to send your left arm alongside your left ear. Or not. Yeah. And then you'll switch. Take a breath in between. Left leg goes up. Arm alongside your ear. Yeah. Good. And bring your hand down, bring your foot down. Good. So what did we do next? We did the child vinyasa. So you're going to do one. You're going to go from down dog to plank. All right, so we won't have child's pose in here, but we have two very important poses, hands on the chair, seat again. And you're gonna walk your feet back. So everybody on the mat, you'll start with down dog. Yeah. So you're gonna come all the way back, and maybe you'll even be far enough back so your heels are not on the mat. Yeah. Your head is between your arms, or your arms are alongside your ears, however you want to perceive it. On an inhale, you're gonna send your hips forward, your shoulders come over your wrists for a plank pose. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. And you do this as many times as feels right for you. After a while, you'll be wanting to do it more times. I know you've done this with me before. And from your plank, next time you're on plank, you're going to walk your feet to the seat of the chair. All right. So let's look at the goddess. Yeah. So you have two choices in the chair. You can have your foot on a block, or you can step on the seat of the chair. Yeah. Or you can take two blocks and step on the blocks. Right. So your arms back behind you, you're going to come forward, bring your hands to the back of the chair, and then come back to straighten your leg. I don't like it with the two blocks, it's wobbly. Please straighten. Yeah, it's wobbly with two. Straighten your leg. Come back, sliding your hips, straighten your leg, sort of straight. Right, so let's try it without the block. Straight leg. So just step forward. Come forward. Yeah, I like this better. And when I was doing that at home, I thought I wanted the leg up higher, but not. Straight leg. Slide forward. So let's come to goddess. Bring your index finger and thumb together. Your opposite arm comes to the back of your thigh. Curl, frame your arm around your head to create the goddess. Straight legs. Switch. Right. Two straight legs. Inhale, come forward. Exhale. Inhale. And you can, I did start out like that, but that's up to you. Yeah. Let's make a fancy goddess. And back. And that is the end of that sequence, but I will invite everybody to come to a child's pose, seated or otherwise, to just rest for a moment. Just come to a rested pose. And if that's just seated quietly in your chair, then do that. And I will end the recording.